And so many familiar faces in the Belgian team, and they get a rousing reception from their supporters inside the stadium as well. And we have a Turkish referee for this game, Ali Payabiyik, and all of the officials are from Turkey, including the VAR, Mete Kalvakan. A reminder of the two teams. We will start with Wales. Of course, so many big names are absent. It's Hennessy in goal, Roden, Mepham and Norrington Davis are the back three, Roberts and Williams the wing backs, Ampadu and Smith really untried as a duo at the heart of midfield, with Johnson and James providing the pace and the width either side of Kiefer Moore. On the bench for Wales, a number of players to look out for. Ben Cabango, the young Swansea defender, has had a good start to the season. Luke Harris, only 17 years of age, the Fulham midfielder, could get an opportunity, and Gareth Bale will also be involved surely at some stage in the game as well. Here is the Belgian team. Of course, it's not changed year in, year out for so long now, but the golden generation has never picked up major silverware. Zeno de Bast, the 18-year-old Anderlecht defender, makes his debut. It is Courtois in goal, de Bast, Alderweireld and Vertonghen the back three, Meunier, Tielemans, Witsel and Carrasco across midfield, De Bruyne and Hazard supporting Batshuayi in attack. And Dean Saunders, we've said it before in this group, facing the likes of the Netherlands and even Poland with a weakened team, and tonight will be a real test for a Wales side lacking so many big names.
Yes, but you've got to look at the positive, and you've got to look and think, how are they going to hurt us, and how are we going to hurt them? I would consider, looking at that back three, Vertonghen, Alderweireld and the young boy Bast, that's just come out of the youth team, he's 18 years of age, I'd consider putting Kiefer Moore on the left and playing against him, try and bully him and try and outstrength him, and then Dan James and Brennan Johnson against two centre-backs who are well past their best, in my opinion. That's why they've left the clubs they were at. So get them two in a race, and when you get it, try and hit Kiefer Moore far post against the young kid.
Wales, wearing their new away kit, which is all white, will get the game underway, attacking the goal away to our left as we look out in the first half. Belgium in their World Cup kit, which is a red shirt with black shorts and flames down the sleeves. They look like a team of dart players as the match is underway. And this is a big night for Wales for so many reasons. Of course, the build-up to the World Cup, and also looking to avoid relegation in the UEFA Nations League. We will follow England to the San Siro tomorrow night on Talksport, but this evening it is all about Wales as Kiefer Moore is penalised inside the opening 15 seconds for catching Jan Vertonghen in the face, and Belgium will have a free kick.
Well, Kiefer Moore has had problems at international level by giving fouls away and getting yellow cards early. I mean, I don't want to criticise him 20 seconds into the game, but he's now on the edge of getting booked. He's gone in for a challenge there, put his elbow across Vertonghen's face, and the referee's thinking, shall I book him a bit early? But he's got to learn. He can't do that.
Here is de Bast, the youngster in the Belgian team, and he does look very much a callow young player. Back to Courtois, now de Bast in the full-back position on this near side, quickly closed down by Smith, and de Bast with a hurried clearance which is up rather than away, and Meunier with a complete miss kick. And as a result of that hurried defending initially, Wales have a throw-in 10 yards from the corner flag on this near side, and Nico Williams will take it in towards James, back towards Williams again, and he will whip across high into the penalty area. Challenging at the far post was Connor Roberts, but it's gathered by Johnson. And now Mepham with a good ball down the line for Roberts again. Johnson looking to take over down the right-hand side, and he breaks into the penalty area, but the cross is overhit with Kiefer Moore waiting, and that was a real chance for Wales within the opening 2 minutes.
Well, brilliant play for Brennan Johnson, his pace again. And for me, all he's got to do is slide it across the face. Kiefer Moore's coming into the 6-yard box for a tap-in, and he might have just slid it. He's dinked it to the back post too big. What a good chance, though.
Here's Batshuayi for Belgium on this near side. Has now finally left Chelsea on a permanent basis and headed to Turkey. Already scored a few goals for Fenerbahce, both in the Turkish League and the Europa League this season. And right in front of Rob Page, Thomas Meunier will take a throw-in for Belgium on this near side, looking for Batshuayi, but it's guided back by the head of Mepham in the end towards Wayne Hennessy, who is wearing the captain's armband, the One Love captain's armband, in the absence of Gareth Bale at the start of this game. Are you slightly surprised that Hennessy has been picked ahead of Danny Ward? Because although Danny Ward is conceding plenty of goals for Leicester, he is playing.
Yes, I don't know what Robert's thinking there is behind it, but he'll have a reason for doing it. They're both, in my opinion, they're both equally as good as each other, and Danny Ward's a bit younger, but both of them have done well for Wales.
De Bruyne looking to break on the far side, the left, but sliding in to make the challenge is Mepham once again, and it will be a throw into Belgium. 3 minutes played on Talksport. Belgium 0, Wales 0 in Group A4 of the UEFA Nations League. The Netherlands on top with 10 points. Belgium have 7, Poland 4, and Wales just a single point so far, which came from that 1-1 draw with Belgium back in June when Brennan Johnson scored an excellent late equaliser to cancel out the goal from Yuri Tielemans. And Wales, of course, twice equalised in added time against the Netherlands, home and away, and then ended up losing very late in those games. As shame for Wales on the far side, because Brennan Johnson was charging forward. There were 2 balls on the pitch, so the referee stopped play.
Well, that's the new rule they brought out this season, and I wonder if it'll cause problems, because, as you said, Wales were on the attack there, and there's a ball come on the pitch. Is that to stop the play?
Lovely flick from Kiefer Moore to find James. The referee almost gets in his way, but here is Roberts. Johnson again was looking to create space down the right, but it's cleared down the line quickly by Vertonghen, but Wales win it back, and with 4.5 minutes played, they've started this game well, as Norrington Davis goes all the way back towards Hennessy, defending the Wales goal away to our right-hand side. A long clearance downfield from him, onto the head of Vertonghen once again, and then nodded back over the top by Mepham. James jumping with Alderweireld was a mismatch, and Witzel will bring it clear now for Belgium towards this near side. The Wales have already started with some purpose, and they have shown the eagerness to press Belgium at every opportunity. Elsewhere in this group tonight, Poland play the Netherlands, and Wales really need the Netherlands to do them a favour before they play against the Poles on Sunday. But they've conceded 3 goals very late on in games, which have cost them points in this group. And look, that could maybe happen once. For it to happen 3 times, albeit with weakened teams either side of that match against Ukraine, it was careless from Wales, because they should have more points on the board.
Yeah, we let some points slip, but as I said earlier, we have got players who are not playing at the highest level, and young players make mistakes, and they don't run the clock down. They're like experienced players, and I'm looking at this Belgium team tonight, very experienced team, and I wonder, Roberto Martinez, before the game, I don't know what he said, but I would imagine he said, look, if we're at the races and we're bang at it from the start, and Wales are, we'll win. But if we don't raise our game at the start of this game, Wales will swarm on top of us, and they have done for 5 minutes, but it's hard to stop Belgium with the players they've got and the quality they've got on the ball to actually gradually bring the ball up to the halfway line and stop popping it around.
Dean Saunders with us here on Talksport, former Wales striker, as De Bruyne comes forward now, wide towards the far side, and Carrasco on the Belgian left. De Bruyne on the overlap, but he invites the challenge from Connor Roberts, who slides in. The final touch was off De Bruyne, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And Kevin De Bruyne said in the build-up to this game that he's bored of playing Wales, because they've played them so often recently, but Belgium very rarely beat them.
Well, I hope he's bored. At least he's not saying I love playing against Wales. That's a good sign. If he's bored of playing Wales, it probably means that because we're like, you know, a swarm of wasps over most teams, he don't get the room that he normally gets. But he's just a class act. He's one of the best players in the world. It's hard to keep him down for 90 minutes.
Johnson coming forward now for Wales, wide to the right, and Roberts. 3 wait for the cross inside the penalty area, but Carrasco came back with an excellent covering challenge, and Wales have a throw-in on the far side. Conor Roberts will have a good deal of responsibility to try and get forward, but at the same time stop Carrasco and De Bruyne coming back the other way.
Well, one thing's for certain, Roberts and Nico Williams are two of the top fittest fullbacks in world football, legs-wise.
Roberts now with a long throw in. It's flicked on by Moore, but there was nobody behind him, and it's claimed unchallenged by Courtois, who bowls it out to the halfway line, but it was well seen by Norrington Davis, who steps in before Batshuayi. And now Joe Rodon, who has had an excellent start to the season for Rennes in the French top flight, scored his first career goal as well against Brest recently. But more importantly, he's been part of a Rennes defence which has been very solid in the early weeks of the season, and it's important for him to get regular first team action before the World Cup.
Yeah, and I think he knew himself, and I'm pleased he's done it, because he's playing every week, and probably that tight defence has a lot to do with him. He's a good player.
No goals in League A of the Nations League so far. 8 minutes played here. Lower down, Luxembourg lead in Turkey by a goal to nil in League C, and down in League D, Andorra are 1-0 up on Liechtenstein. And the bottom teams, along with Wales in Group A at the moment, in danger of relegation, are France, Switzerland, and of course England. Italy against England, live from San Siro tomorrow night on Talksport, as Hazard comes forward now. Batshuayi tries to work the 1-2 with him, but Wales will smuggle that one clear. Tielemans now finding Witsel, Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce leading our team in San Siro tomorrow night. And then on Saturday we've got action from the WSL. 50,000 tickets have been sold for the North London derby. Arsenal against Spurs with Joe Shannon and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, and then at 3 o'clock on Talksport 2, the home of the EFL, it's Sheffield Wednesday against Wycombe from League One. Plymouth against the leaders Ipswich, also from League One, is a 12:30 kick-off on Sunday on Talksport 2. 4 o'clock on Talksport, another big game from the WSL. It is Chelsea against Manchester City. Our next Premier League action on the 1st of October, another North London derby in the Premier League, Arsenal against Spurs, 12:30, Saturday the 1st of October. Palace against Chelsea will be live on Talksport 2 at 3 o'clock as Batshuayi comes forward now for Belgium, plays it low to De Bruyne, an excellent finish. Kevin De Bruyne simply side-footed that with a very casual air from the edge of the penalty area, and he picked out the corner with unerring accuracy, and that is the quality of Kevin De Bruyne, and it's Belgium 1, Wales 0.
Just class football. I mean, I was just about to say, when Wales get everyone behind the board, it's important that they don't relax. It's just the ball coming up the right. Batshuayi's made a run down the channel. Rodon's got him, but he's that good a player. He's picked his head up. He's passed it into De Bruyne just inside the box. He's let it run across his body and just sort of side-footed it in the bottom corner.
Do you think Hennessy should have got there?
Yeah, well, there'll be an argument saying that he's got to save that, but it's a brilliant finish inside the near post. It looked like he was going to let it run across his body and sort of fade it into the far corner, and the side foot finish has started outside the post, and he's bent it outside the post, just inside the post. It's a great finish. I wouldn't blame Wayne Hennessy for that.
25 international goals now for Kevin De Bruyne. This his 92nd appearance for Belgium tonight. And he may be bored playing Wales, but he can still score quality goals like that.
Well, I said you can't keep him down for 90 minutes, and you know, he'll do something else in this game where you'll think nobody else in the world can do that. Guaranteed he'll do it. But they've got other players who can do it as well.
11 minutes played. Belgium 1, Wales 0. Wales, of course, fell behind to Belgium in the reverse game in Cardiff and came back to draw. And they pulled level twice against the Netherlands before losing. But if they lose tonight and Poland avoid defeat against the Netherlands, then they will be back in League B in the next round of the Nations League. And they qualified so impressively for the top level with 5 wins and a draw. conceding only 1 goal in 6 games, as Kiefer Moore has been fouled by Tielemans on the halfway line, and it will be a free kick. And it's a shame in so many ways that these big games in the Nations League, and they are big games for Wales, they've come at a time when the Ukraine game was also placed right in the middle of them.
Yeah, and as I said, you know, these 2 games, they're not really any benefit to us. I know it's better than a friendly, but we could do with 2 games just before the first game in the World Cup, just to get the players into a rhythm. But we're so far away from the World Cup, you know, football-wise, fitness levels, players can lose their fitness in 2 weeks.
Here is Moore now coming forward for Wales. Wide to Williams on the left. The cross in, though, was half hit. He was under pressure, Williams, and it slices high over the crossbar. Cody Gakpo has given the Netherlands the lead against Poland. So that is the scoreline that Wales need from there. Poland 0, Netherlands 1. And if both Poland and Wales lose this evening, it would all come down to Wales beating Poland on Sunday in Cardiff to qualify for League A next time around.
Well, as an example, going back to the goal, Nigel, both of our fullbacks are playing against their fullbacks. So Nico Williams has got pulled right up the pitch, so there's a hole down the side of him. Batshuayi has run down there, and I've been in that position myself. When you're running at a defender 1v1, the hardest thing in the world to do is to pick your head up and pick a pass. And that shows you these top players, why they're top players. He's picked out De Bruyne brilliantly with the right weight on the ball, and it's a good finish. Class.
Now Carrasco looking to attack Roberts. Into the penalty area down the left. A low ball in. Tielemans should have made it 2-0. Dragged the shot wide, left-footed from 7 yards out. Well, he's come away smiling now, Yuri Tielemans, but it may be a grimace because Belgium should have doubled their lead.
Well, a similar type chance. Just Carrasco's gone at Connor Roberts, turned him inside out, come inside him, went back outside him. We've got 6 players in the box against Tielemans. Everyone's marking space. No one's marking Tielemans. Space doesn't score. Strikers and midfield players score. So you always say that to the players. Why are you going into a space thinking the ball's going to go there? Mark players.
14 minutes played. Wales trailing in Brussels by a goal to 0 on Talksport. Don't forget, coming up on a big day of sport on Saturday, Joe Joyce against Joseph Parker, live and exclusive to Talksport, the big WBO bout. And it's a massive day of sport all round. Before that, we will have Rugby League's big occasion, live from Old Trafford, the grand final. And WSL action also. So there should be some really enjoyable events coming up over the weekend as Batshuayi chases a long ball forward. He's initially held off the challenge, strikes him the shot, but it's blocked by Norrington Davis. But it's quickly won back by Meunier. 3 players to pick out. Tielemans, now Witsel, square to Carrasco on the edge of the penalty area, tries to execute a Cruyff turn, but he turns into Rodon. Carrasco has gone down. Williams plays a rather dicey ball across his own penalty area, but eventually it is cleared away, and Wales living dangerously. Already a goal down here. Now De Bruyne, who scored it, quickly forward towards Tielemans. Batshuayi is the furthest player forward. Tielemans turns to the right, but the cross in is blocked by Rodon, and Williams is able to loft a ball forward. It's taken down well on the chest by Moore. Moore has got James making the run in behind him, but he just had to take time to control and hold off the challenge of Witsel. And Wales now bring it forward with Brennan Johnson. Connor Roberts holds his position down the right-hand side, and it's back to Ampadu once again, and Norrington Davis looking to join in as the left-sided central defender, and of course playing for Sheffield United, he'll be used to overlapping. Now Williams with a high ball over the top. James will chase, but Alderweireld gets there first, and he'll just hoof the ball down the line straight out of play, and Wales have a throw-in with 16 minutes played on Talksport, but Belgium leading by a goal to 0.
Yeah, we're still looking to get Dan James in and Johnson in behind these 2 aging centre-backs, but as we've seen then, Alderweireld's brain got him to the through ball before Dan James, because he's seen it coming. He's an experienced player, world class.
Now Smith has got room to turn and finds James on the edge of the penalty area. Poke further square to Johnson. He tried to find Roberts inside the area, but he was quickly robbed by Carrasco, and now Tielemans can find De Bruyne on the halfway line. The switcher play from him, and it's an excellent ball forward from right to left, looking for Carrasco, but just slightly overhit in the end, and Hennessy will shepherd the ball out of play. But more danger signs whenever De Bruyne gets on the ball.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could be 3-0 down. Batshuayi gets in. We've got 3 centre-backs who've never played together before. Mepham, Roden and Norrington Davis have never played together, and they've got world-class players making runs off the back of them, and at the moment they are struggling to cope.
Turkey have equalised against Luxembourg, 1-1 in League C. A reminder, elsewhere in this group, the Netherlands already a goal up on Poland. Played wide to this near side by Roden, but cut out by Meunier. And here is Eden Hazard, his 121st appearance tonight for Belgium, and so many of these players may be eyeing the World Cup as their final chance to try and pick up some silverware. They've got Canada, Morocco and Croatia in their group. Don't forget, every single game from the World Cup will be live across the Talksport network. For Wales, Monday the 21st of November, 7 o'clock against the USA. Friday the 25th, Iran. That's a 10 o'clock kickoff, 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. And then Tuesday the 29th, England, a 7 o'clock start. All those games live on Talksport.
Yeah, they're in again.
Here is Hazard coming forward, finding De Bruyne on the edge of the penalty area. He goes for the curler right-footed. This time it's too high, but he had so many options there, left and right, De Bruyne, and Wales are being swamped.
Yeah, you've got the likes of Hazard picking the ball up, slipping it to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne's putting Batshuayi in. But I'm just watching Batshuayi there. He's lingering. Lukaku's not playing tonight, which is a bonus, but he's doing the same job. He lingers in between the centre-backs, and he's just waiting for eye contact of one of the midfield players, Tielemans, Witsel or De Bruyne, and they're just looking to put him in all the time, and he's getting eye contact with them and making his move.
Hazard infield to Carrasco again, and the Atletico Madrid player has seen plenty of the ball. He now cuts across the field from left to right to find Thomas Meunier. So many of this Belgian team are now beyond the age of 30. And is it a motivation? I mean, I know you never played in a major tournament, but when you're coming to the end of your career and you know you're not going to get too many more opportunities, is that always a motivation in the back of your mind?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the most disappointing moment in my career was when we lost the game to Romania in Cardiff and we didn't qualify for the World Cup. We had a penalty to get there and we missed it, and still to this day that is the most disappointed I've ever been in my life, because I thought, will I get another chance? And we never got really close after that.
And Dean did score twice against Belgium in qualification games for the European Championships back in the early 90s. A 3-1 win in Cardiff. Rush, Saunders and Hughes on the score sheet, and an equaliser here in Brussels as well.
Thanks for that, Nige. Thanks for mentioning that.
I've got to tell people why you're relevant.
Yeah, you've crushed me with it. You never played in a major tournament and then tried to make up for it with a couple of goals.
21 minutes played. You scored a few goals for Wales. How many was it?
22. I'm not finished yet. Just having a few years off. Actually, I'm looking at this game. I might give Pagey a ring.
Pagey Robert Page, as a free kick has been conceded by Kiefer Moore. Belgium leading by a goal to nil. Elsewhere in League C, Lithuania trail at home to the Faroes. Kevin De Bruyne with a goal which just oozed class for Belgium, giving them the lead after Wales have made, relatively speaking, a bright start to the game. Belgium have only won one of the 7 previous meetings, that was the opening World Cup qualifier behind closed doors in Leuven when Harry Wilson scored a brilliant goal, but Wales eventually lost 3-1. And of course there was that memorable Euro 2016 quarter-final as Ampadu concedes a free kick on this near side, and at the moment Ampadu and Smith are being bypassed in the midfield.
Well, he's assured to get a yellow card tonight, Ethan Ampadu. I mean, that is a foul, but you know, you just watch Belgium building up. They're passing it across the back, the three centre-backs, and they're looking. Witsel, Hazard, De Bruyne looking over the shoulder at Batshuayi non-stop. They're looking for the one pass that gets him in, but if not, if one of you steps out of position, which Matt Smith has just run out the centre of the pitch to close Alderweireld down in the right centre-back position, what he's doing I don't know, but they get in.
Batshuayi given room to turn. He's found De Bruyne at pace into the penalty area. Left-hand side. De Bruyne with the shot. Cleared off the line by Norrington Davis. Now Tielemans gathers again. Hazard, left corner of the penalty area. Brennan Johnson comes back to make the challenge. It's a throw into Belgium, but again, they are knocking on the door to make it 2-0.
We've got to ride this storm, and we've got to try and keep it at 1-0.
Now Carrasco cutting in field from the left again. Left foot shot deflected, loops high over the crossbar, and it will be a corner, but it is one-way traffic at the moment.
Out on that pitch right now, as a Wales player, you're starting to think, have Belgium got 12 players? They've got a man over everywhere they go. Our three centre-backs are in desperate trouble trying to cope with the movement of Batshuayi, and then they've got runners coming through. De Bruyne gets in. He's cutting in on his left foot. He's at a bad angle, and the ball just goes under his feet a little bit, and he's scuffed it across the face. Normally he buries that.
Corner kick for Belgium. 23 minutes played. They lead by a goal to 0. Flighted in by De Bruyne. Witsel tried to volley towards goal. Keeper Moore's header doesn't quite make the distance, and now Witsel does flick on. Batshuayi 4 yards out on the stretch, high over the top.
Again, Norrington Davis there is stood. I'm watching him, he's on his heels. The ball's looping around in our box. I'm thinking, get on your toes. And the ball gets flicked back in behind him. Witsel beats him in the air. And Batshuayi gets in and slashes his chance. He's got to bury it. He sliced it with his right foot miles over the bar.
Looking at the replay, may have been offside had he scored. VAR would have looked at that.
Touch and go, but warning signs. I mean, right now the boys have got to dig in and keep this game at 1-0.
Johnson tangling with Vertonghen, who just checked his dental work on the far side, but Wales do have a throw-in. It's quickly down the line for Kiefer Moore. Out on the right, he's drawn Alderweireld out there, and the low driven cross in is blocked by Alderweireld, and it will be a throw-in to Wales on the far side. 25 minutes played. Belgium 1, Wales 0 on Talksport in the UEFA Nations League, with Italy against England coming up tomorrow night from San Siro, and then the Germany game on Monday will be live from Wembley as well. Both those games live on Talksport. And don't forget, 5:30 on Saturday, the Super League Grand Final, St Helens against Leeds from Old Trafford, and then Fight Night exclusive, Joe Joyce against Joseph Parker, live from Manchester.
Nigel, I think from the bench now, I would be shouting on at Matt Smith. We've got a back five, and we've got Ampadu and Smith sitting in front of him, and he's getting pulled out of position.
Here is Hazard coming forward now, squared towards De Bruyne, edge of the penalty, right foot shot off the post this time. Carrasco with the rebound, brilliant save by Hennessy. And Wales cannot live with Kevin De Bruyne. He scored one, and he was inches away from another.
Well, we're getting cut through too easy. I mean, just picture this in your head. Matt Smith, the defensive midfield player, is closing their right side centre-back down. So we get popped through the middle of the pitch. They've got men over in there. They're slipping the ball through us. Our back three are stood watching, and De Bruyne again drops his shoulder with his right foot, tries to reverse bend it in the far corner, hits the post. It could be 5.
26 minutes played, that's no exaggeration. At the moment, the Welsh system isn't working as Kiefer Moore goes down on his haunches. And Matt Smith again has done plenty of chasing, but he's chasing shadows in the most part, and again he's making this run over to the near side to close down Zeno de Bast, the central defender. Wales do win it back. They want a free kick, and belatedly the referee has given it for a challenge by Meunier right in front of Rob Page on Nico Williams, and Wales will have a free kick. But they're international footballers, but it's levels, isn't it? I mean,
yeah,
Smith plays for MK Dons.
Yeah, but I mean, whether he's been told to do it, I don't know. But someone should be shouting on to him. Who's the most dangerous, Tielemans or Alderweireld? So Alderweireld gets the ball in their back foot. Why are you running from the centre of midfield as a defensive midfield player and closing centre-backs down?
Tielemans now almost had space on this near side, and there was a belated challenge by Nico Williams to try and keep the ball in play, but Belgium will have a throw-in, and Rob Page is a lot more animated than Roberto Martinez at the moment. Jan Vertonghen on the far side into Witsel, and the olays beginning to come from the Belgian crowd because it has been an exhibition. It's only 1-0, but that at the moment is a reprieve for Wales, but it's given away by Batshuayi. Johnson right to Roberts on the far side, and Mepham looks up and has to go all the way back to Hennessy. Of course, this is a Wales team without Ramsey, Davis, Allen and Wilson, and at the moment we have to say it's showing. Bale, of course, on the bench. Here is Ampadu, square to Smith. Now Williams takes over, looking to take on Meunier, checks back, finding Smith again. Ampadu, low into James, and Wales at least enjoying some possession deep inside Belgian territory. Norrington Davis gives it straight to De Bruyne, but his pass forward doesn't find Tielemans, and Wales have a free kick on this near side.
No, as I said, Nico Williams and Connor Roberts, as athletes, are as good as anybody. Obviously, you know, there's bits missing out their game at the moment, which they'll get better as they get older, but legs-wise, we're all right. But if you're leaving gaps down the sides of you, when you're running out of position, they're going to get down the sides of us. But the biggest concern for me, I'd actually, if I was sitting there, I'm not, we're sat watching the game, but I would change the shape of the team and put another man in midfield, just to try and knuckle 2-3-0 down. We're still in this game, believe it or not, but Matt Smith has got to keep looking over your shoulder. Where is De Bruyne? Not worrying about them passing the ball in their own half.
Now Courtois plays it out to Alderweireld on this near side, and now De Bast finding Hazard, who had picked up a pocket of space just inside the Belgium half, quickly on to De Bruyne, and the Red Devils are raiding here once again. Vertonghen forward on the left hand side, in towards Hazard. Hazard clips it wide to the right, and Meunier of Borussia Dortmund, he comes in field. Hazard with the captain's armband, finding Batshuayi, quickly on to Witsel. And now De Bruyne again with 31 minutes played on Talksport. Belgium leading by a goal to nil. Challenge from keeper Moore though, wins it back from Vertonghen. Wales will try and break, but the ball from Moore, looking for Nico Williams, is behind him, and Norrington Davis will turn and play it all the way back towards Wayne Hennessy. Hennessy's made a couple of fine saves so far. Norrington Davis with a clearance off the line. Kevin De Bruyne has hit the post and scored. And to be honest, Thibaut Courtois has had very little to do.
We've had one half chance, which Brennan Johnson got in on the right hand side and could have put it across the face, but apart from that, you could say they've battered us.
Now Kiefer Moore on the move, wide on the right hand side. He chests the ball down before Alderweireld, then the back heel releasing Brennan Johnson. He is onside, but he looked up and there was nobody in the centre, so he holds possession. Now jabs it in field, but it's won back by Carrasco. Alderweireld clears away, but it's deflected off Dan James, and Wales win it back in towards Johnson. Now James inside the penalty area, could open up for the shot. It does. It's blocked by Witsel. Now Ampadu, and the flag has come up for offside, and that flurry of Welsh activity inside the Belgian penalty area comes to nothing.
Dan James there cuts inside on his left foot. I'm watching Kiefer Moore. The whole move, he's just walking. Instead of getting in on the rebound or getting back in the box if something bits coming your way, he's moaning at the referee. Get on with it. Get in the box.
Here is James again now. Claimed he was shoved over by Witsel as he looked to turn, but the Turkish referee waves away the appeals, and De Bruyne finds Carrasco. Now quickly on to Hazard down the left-hand side. Roberts again is backpedaling deep into the penalty. Hazard with a right-footed shot, and it's just wide, and we've seen that so often so far. Belgium given room to cut in field inside the penalty area, and another shot whistles just past the far post.
I think it was quite comfortable for Wayne Hennessy, but Hazard dropping his shoulder, and then flicks it inside on his right foot, tries to bend it inside the far post. It's gone 2 yards wide, but Connor Roberts has got a problem because Hazard can beat you both sides.
Now Vertonghen joining in, finding Hazard once again, midway inside the Wales half. 33 minutes played. We'll be hearing from the England camp later on in kick-off. Gareth Southgate and Harry Kane have been talking to the media before the match in Milan tomorrow. Faith Carruthers will be joining us to give us news of that. But at the moment, Wales could do with half-time, although it feels some way off the way this game is going. It's still only 1-0 with 11 minutes to play in the first half on Talksport. Elsewhere, still Poland 0, the Netherlands 1, and also in League A, Croatia 0, Denmark 0, and France 0, Austria 0. Luxembourg now lead in Turkey by 2 goals to 0. Brennan Johnson looks to win it back from Carrasco down the right, and he does. Spins towards the byline, drives in the cross, which is blocked by Carrasco, and Wales have a corner.
The dilemma for Robert Page in this game right now is, do I carry on playing basically with 3 up, Dan James, Kiefer Moore and Brennan Johnson, against Belgium away from home when we're getting battered? Do I leave the 3 of them up and hope we can break and nick a goal? Or do I get in a low block, I get everyone behind the ball, fill all the gaps in front of our back 3, because our back 3 aren't good enough at this level, and we could go 2 or 3. That's his dilemma on the bench. He'd be thinking that right now. What shall I do?
But he'd also be thinking about looking at combinations and patterns of play with the World Cup coming up as well. It's that balancing act he's been talking about in the build-up to this game. But Wales do have a corner on the far side. Dan James, now of Fulham, will take it. Moore makes the run towards the near post along with Rowe, and it's deeper beyond them. Courtois will come and he will claim, and there was too much air on that, and it's played forward, and then De Bruyne cleans out Connor Roberts on the halfway line. That should be a free kick to Wales, because it was bowled forward by Courtois, and Roberts was the final man for the Welsh, and the Belgian players were steaming towards him. De Bruyne was at the head of that queue, and it was a foul.
Well, yeah, Courtois caught a cross. He must have run 10 yards, has caught a great cross at the back post and thrown it out. They tried to counter-attack. Connor Roberts is left on the halfway line on his own, and he decides to clear the ball, and De Bruyne has left his foot in, but Connor Roberts has done well for him. He's got straight back up. If he rolls round on the floor, he might have been in trouble.
It's now Turkey 2, Luxembourg 2 in League C this evening. Faroe still 1 up in Lithuania. Low in towards Kiefer Moore. The flick on was a nice touch and a nice idea, but it didn't quite fall for Connor Roberts on the edge of the box, and Belgium will clear again with 8.5 minutes to play in the first half on Talksport. Belgium 1, Wales 0 in the UEFA Nations League. Back-to-back games for Wales before the World Cup coming up in November. Now Hazard in towards Tielemans, flick back to Witsel, just have to check on the edge of the penalty area. De Bruyne And Meunier down the right finds De Bruyne inside the area. Low cross into the 6-yard area. And Batshuayi is there to make it 2-0. And that goal's been coming for a long, long time. De Bruyne, having scored the first, made the second. A clever run into the penalty area. Nobody picked him up. And Batshuayi was left with an open goal. And he made no mistake. And on the balance of play, Wales can have no complaints. Belgium lead 2-0.
2 unforced errors in the build-up to the goal. We're giving the ball away too much. Kiefer Moore trying flicks. Norrington Davis has given the ball away. Ampadu gives it away. They get down this right-hand side. De Bruyne makes a run in the channel, lets it run down the side of him. Great ball across the face, and Batshuayi's in the 6-yard box where he should be. Type of thing Haaland would do. He's on the end of that, another tap in. But it was a great move from their point of view. But we are giving simple balls away, and we're leaving gaps everywhere.
Batshuayi's 26th international goal in only 46 games, which is a remarkable record for somebody who has had a fairly patchy career in terms of first team football over the years. Still only 28 years of age, and a new start for him in Istanbul with Fenerbahce. But Wales have got a problem here because they are getting absolutely battered.
Well, they can do this to any team. The Kiefer Moore offside there, but it does help Belgium if you keep giving the ball away, unforced errors in the middle of midfield. Kiefer Moore, you're in the team to get hold of the ball. He's trying flicks. If they come off, great. Flicks and tricks. Get hold of the ball for us.
Now Hazard, a high crossfield ball which is picked up by De Bass, but he's given the ball away. Nico Williams has been caught there by Tielemans. It will be a free kick for Wales. Midway inside the Belgian half, down the left. Meunier had a first nibble at Nico Williams, and then the second challenge made absolutely sure.
You've got to like his attitude, Nico Williams. I mean, I love watching him play. He plays on the front foot. He won't give up in any situation. Every time he gets it, he drives. He's positive. I think he's got a good future in front of him. He's left Liverpool. He's getting games at Nottingham Forest, which is good.
Dan James over the free kick for Wales. It will be an in-swinger. High towards the far post. Kiefer Moore wins the header. Witsel clears the ball away. Nodded towards goal again at the far post by Ampadu, and it was fisted clear by Courtois. Wales very close to a route back into the game. Here is Smith now down the right-hand side. Ampadu looking to win it back, but it spins out of play, and Belgium have a throw-in after Wales' best opportunity.
Yeah, from a set place, an in-swinger. Joe Roden it was who got on the end of it, and Witsel's cleared it off the line, and then Ampadu's followed it in. He's had another header, gets cleared again, but it's a good ball in. Witsel, good clearance. Really, when that ball goes out the back, we've got to have someone sniffing in the 6-yard box for the header back across the goal, but they got there first.
4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Belgium 2, Wales 0 on Talksport, and Belgium again are moving forward with very little pressure on the ball. Here is Hazard. Lithuania 1, Faroes 1 in League C. The only other goal in League A, the Netherlands leading Poland in Wales' group. So if it stays as it is, a win for Wales on Sunday, and they would survive.
Well, right now we don't know what we're doing. We're getting beat in all departments of the pitch. We're not right in the middle of midfield. Matt Smith and Ampadu are getting dragged about everywhere. We've got a back five, but the two in front, you have to stay in the middle of the pitch, and that's the most important part, where De Bruyne is trying to get in. Let them accept they're going to come down the sides of us, but don't let them come through the middle of us.
Now Carrasco leaves it for Hazard. Moving forward again, he's got De Bruyne square of him. Tielemans back towards De Bruyne, 25 yards out. Now Tielemans again down the right. Wales here just trying to rediscover some sort of defensive shape. Vertonghen course, back to the halfway line, and in the end, Alderweireld goes all the way back to Courtois. Azerbaijan lead 1-0 in Slovakia in League C, but in their group, Kazakhstan beat Belarus earlier on today to guarantee promotion. De Bruyne now making another run, unchecked into the penalty area. Brilliant save by Hennessy. He was going the wrong way, but he jabbed out his right foot and somehow diverted the ball behind for a corner.
Well, Matt Smith and Ampadu, they're getting a lesson on movement and speed of thought. De Bruyne has just run off the back of Ampadu there, because Matt Smith's been pulled out to the left-hand side. He's left Ampadu in the middle. De Bruyne has made the run, and what a save from Wayne Hennessy. He's left his trailing leg out, and he's just got a toe on it.
Corner kick on the far side, whipped in by Carrasco, and Vertonghen with a header, but it loops harmlessly wide, and it's a goal kick. And we have 2 minutes to play in the first half. Belgium leading Wales 2-0, and in all honesty, Wales are lucky it's not 6.
Yeah, and if we're not careful, if they don't sort out... I mean, the two in... I keep going on about the two in the middle of midfield, but they're just all over the place. They're everywhere. The ball's
De Bruyne finding Hazard. His shot, though, pings off the thigh of Mepham, and it spins behind for another corner.
I mean, it's easy for us Saturday. I've been out there in games like this, and you think, you just can't stop. You just can't stop it, the wave.
Hazard from the corner in towards Carrasco, and it's shepherded behind by Williams, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy criticising from when we're sat watching from the side, but you know, I can see straight away the two midfield players, you play together, you press together, you're looking over your shoulder for the danger man, De Bruyne and Tielemans getting in behind you. Do not get dragged out the centre of the pitch. Don't run across each other to close down, which is, they're doing everything wrong in the middle of midfield.
But if Hazard and De Bruyne are on the same page, it's very difficult reading for Wales.
But yeah, but it's, I mean, they can do it to anyone, and but if you're not organised, and if you're not, the pair in midfield are not right playing with each other, this will make it look worse playing against these players. They'll find you out quicker.
Roberts with a crossing from the right, deflected behind off Carrasco, and Wales have a corner as we tick towards the final 30 seconds of normal time on Talksport. Neither medical team has been on so far, so this could be the final action of what has been a torrid first half for Wales, trailing by 2-0. Belgium with 14 attempts on goal so far. James with the corner in towards Kiefer Moore, who flicks on. It comes out towards Nico Williams. Right foot curler takes a deflection off Norrington Davis and loops over the top with Courtois stranded.
Well, we could have nicked a goal right on half-time, 44 minutes. Ball goes out the back post to Nico Williams. He tries to bend it in the top corner. It's the back of Norrington Davis's head. Courtois on the floor. And lucky for Belgium, it's gone over the bar.
But that's half-time, and that will be some relief to Wales. Belgium leading by 2-0. They've had 63% possession, 15 attempts on goal. Wales have had 3. And Kevin De Bruyne has been irresistible so far. Scored the first, made the second for Michy Batshuayi. And at the moment, Wales could be relegated tonight in the UEFA Nations League. At half-time, it is Belgium 2, Wales 0. Thank you, Hugh. No changes made by either side at half-time, although Joe Morrell was warming up for Wales, and he could be a potential solution to try and stiffen up the midfield, although he's had very little football for Portsmouth in League One this season following an early season injury. A reminder of the Wales team again: Hennessy in goal, Roden, Mepham and Norrington Davis, Roberts and Williams in the wide areas, Ampadu and Smith at the heart of midfield, with Johnson, Moore and James in attack. Wales wearing all white, Belgium in their familiar red and black with gold trim. And they have produced some excellent football during the first half. Courtois in goal, De Bast, Alderweireld and Vertonghen the back three, Meunier, Tielemans, Witsel and Carrasco, De Bruyne, Batshuayi and Hazard. And it's been a masterclass from Kevin De Bruyne so far. Scored one, made the second, hit the post as well. And he has just been on a different plane.
Yeah, but we did know what was going to happen before the game. We know how they play. It's like when you play Denmark, when Eriksen's playing in the number 10 position. If you empty that position and leave him get on the ball in that position, he hurts you. De Bruyne, he don't miss normally. He's missed a few tonight, but we've not changed anything, which I'm really surprised about.
Williams with a poor ball down the line, some way beyond Daniel James and behind for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. And Wales, at the moment, are not in brilliant form. Of course, it was a momentous win against Ukraine, but it's their only success in their previous 6 games. They had gone 9 games unbeaten before that during the bulk of the World Cup qualifiers. But of course, they've had poor form before both Euro 2016 and the Euros last year, and of course they were brilliant in 2016, and they probably went as far as they should have done in the Euro 2020 tournament, losing out to Denmark in the round of 16. As Belgium come forward again now with Alderweireld wide to the far side of Meunier. Now Tielemans scooped over the top. Carrasco cuts in field from the left inside the penalty area, on again towards Hazard, who is popping up in areas Wales don't really appreciate. Carrasco with the ball in towards the far post, volleyed away though by Nico Williams, who was tucking around the back, and Brennan Johnson will try and bring it forward, and he's clipped by De Bruyne. And De Bruyne's fortunate to have escaped the yellow card so far tonight, because there's that foul and the one on the first half on Connor Roberts.
Yeah, you're right. I think one more he's going in the book, but Brennan Johnson done well there, because they were in again and we broke out and he's got us a foul. But again, they come down the right hand side, all of a sudden the ball switched into the centre of the pitch, and Carrasco gets behind Connor Roberts, he's had half an hour to see the play. He should never get in there. I mean, this is how you'd explain it to the players. Who do we want on the ball tonight, lads? Who do we want to have most of the ball? They've got an 18-year-old centre-back. Leave the ball go to him. Leave it go to Alderweireld.
Now Mepham does receive a yellow card. He went through the back of Hazard, and I think it was a justified booking, but Wales could turn around and say, well, you know, does Kevin De Bruyne not get booked because he's Kevin De Bruyne?
Well, Kevin De Bruyne's challenge was more of a deliberate body check, and I think Mepham's just kicked at the side of Hazard's legs there, and I mean, I've had one of them on the outside of your knee when someone just wraps you and he's just decided I'm going to kick him. That's frustration. But as I was saying, you don't want De Bruyne, Tielemans and Witsel getting on the ball tonight. You don't want Hazard getting on the ball. You don't want Batshuayi getting on the ball. You don't mind the centre-backs having it. Like Alderweireld and Vertonghen are the wide centre-backs. Let them have the ball all night, but don't let them pop it into midfield. The top players.
Chris Mepham will be out of the game against Poland on Sunday night. Lovely turn now from Brennan Johnson on the halfway line, and he's away for Wales down the right. Witsel comes across to make the challenge with the help of Carrasco, but Johnson with the cross, and Kiefer Moore with the header, and Wales are back in the game. Classic Kiefer Moore, a towering far post header, brilliantly done by Brennan Johnson with that run down the right, and that's the sort of service Kiefer Moore really thrives on, and suddenly Wales are back in the game. It's Belgium 2, Wales 1.
Unbelievable. Brennan Johnson, excellent. What a ball. He's running down the right wing, he just moves it and dinks the ball to the far post. Kiefer Moore gets in between the two centre-backs at the back post, attacks the ball brilliantly and does what he does best, attacking across. And the young lad that they've got playing at right side centre-back, he's got found out. That's what happens when you're 18 and you've got a man playing against you.
Kiefer Moore's 9th international goal. His previous one came against Belgium in the World Cup qualifiers, which sealed the playoff place. And it just shows that Wales do have game changers if they get the ball in right areas.
Well, that's just like unbelievable football, isn't it? Totally against the run of play, but pace. Dan James is liable to run the length of the pitch as well, you know, no matter how much pressure you're under. But we're back in the game. I hope we haven't annoyed him.
Don't make him angry. 51 minutes played on Talksport. Belgium 2, Wales 1. Of course, Wales came back from 2 goals down and really should have drawn the game against the Netherlands in Rotterdam back in June, a game we brought you live on the Talksport network. And Kiefer Moore just showing his value to this team.
It's a great header, isn't it? I mean, it was a bit like a Andy Carroll type header coming in at the back post, like attacking the ball. Get out my way.
Well, it was a John Charles or a John Toshak type header, wasn't it?
I once played with John Toshak against Barry Town in the Welsh Cup, and he scored 3 unbelievable headers. And I just thought, he was manager. And he said, I'm going to have to see a specialist. The ball keeps hitting me on the head and going in the net.
That sounds like him, doesn't it?
Yeah. Tactically, brilliant, John Toshak.
52 minutes play. Belgium 2, Wales 1. Carrasco coming forward again now, finding De Bruyne. This squad has had echoes of John Toshak's time in charge, with so many young players involved this evening. As Kiefer Moore now closes down Vertonghen. Different feel to the game now. Belgium suddenly realised they're in a contest.
Well, it's given us a bit of a lift, but I'm looking into the middle of midfield, and it's a matter of time before they slip the ball through us. I'm watching the screen. Matt Smith, Ampadu getting sucked out of that hole. You can't do that when you've got Hazard and De Bruyne sneaking in behind you.
Also in League A, Croatia lead Denmark by a goal to nil. That's in the French group. They're still 0-0 with Austria, and if it stays like that, they will remain bottom as Ethan Ampadu just shoves De Bruyne off the ball and concedes the free kick. Taken quickly by Belgium. Witsel in towards Hazard. It's short, very precise passing midway inside the Wales half. 53 minutes played on Talksport. Belgium 2, Wales 1. Kiefer Moore's 9th international goal. Only one of those has come in a friendly. He tends to score when it matters. Of course, we were in Baku live on Talksport when he scored that crucial goal against Switzerland in the Euros. As Belgium try and come forward again now with Meunier. Wide to De Bruyne down the right. High cross to the far post. Connor Roberts with a clearance which is across the face of the penalty area. And then there seemed to be a leap there from Meunier into the Wales player who is down. And the free kick's been given once again to Wales right on the edge of the box.
Well, we've now gone into... We have changed. We have gone into a low block, as they call it now. It used to be called everyone behind the ball. So we've got everyone behind the ball. 2 wide players have dropped right back in there, and we're making it hard, and we're going to try and break away, which is better. I think better for me. Kiefer Moore relies on crosses, so we've got to think of that. But we've got the lesser of the 2 evils, which we can deal with, is if they get down the sides and cross balls into our box. We've got 3 big centre-halves in there and Ampadu, so we should be able to deal with that better. What we can't deal with is intricate through balls just on another level.
Well, there are very few teams in world football who can deal with Belgium when they're on their day. 55 minutes played. Belgium 2, Wales 1. In the Nations League elsewhere, Croatia leading Denmark 0-0. France against Austria. In this group, the Netherlands still leading Poland by a goal to 0. And if it stays like that, Wales will still have a chance of survival against Poland on Sunday in Cardiff. In League C, Kazakhstan won their group earlier today, beating Belarus. They will be promoted. Lithuania are also currently 1-1 with the Faroes. Azerbaijan leading Slovakia, and it's 2-2 between Turkey and Luxembourg as France take the lead against Austria. And that's a goal which could send them a long way towards survival. Hazard moving forward now, looking for De Bruyne, but cut out well by Smith. And now Witsel again. Carrasco moving forward left-hand side. He's got Vertonghen on the overlap. Connor Roberts will surely be able to deal with his lack of pace, but now Carrasco again. The dummy from Hazard. It's played back towards Hazard from Tielemans, a lovely interchange on the edge of the area. The cross in from Vertonghen, cleared away well at the near post by Rodin, and it will be a throw into Belgium.
There's an example. We've got everyone behind the ball now. We're filling all the gaps in the centre of the pitch. They're coming down the sides and crossing it, and we've dealt with it. So we've got to keep doing that. And hopefully one of the clearances out of the box, Dan James gets on the end of it, or Brennan Johnson runs the length of the field and nicks another one for us.
Kylian Mbappe with the goal for France. They lead Austria by a 1-0. So they would move off the bottom of their group. Of course, England still have survival on their minds in the Nations League. Tomorrow night, kick-off live from San Siro with Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce, along with Faye Carruthers. Our England team also heading to the World Cup. Myself and Dean will be covering Wales as Tielemans plays it wide to the far side, works a 1-2 with Meunier, who just for a second was in behind Nico Williams. Flipped over the top by De Bruyne. That's a rarity from him tonight, a misplaced pass, and it spins out of play for a throw into Wales on the far side.
And as you can probably hear, the Welsh fans are in full voice singing the national anthem. And I'm hearing some terrible news about the cost of getting to the World Cup for the fans, Nigel. I'm hearing like rumours it's going to cost them £10,000 each to cover the 3 games, which is unbelievable.
Some, of course, will do it. They've been waiting a lifetime to do it, but in the wider world, of course, it is a lot of money. We will have every single game for you live across the Talksport network starting in mid-November. And don't forget, live WSL on Saturday here on Talksport. Arsenal against Spurs. There'll be over 50,000 at the Emirates Stadium. There's a ball forward from Smith. It's just beyond Brennan Johnson, who was in down the centre. Now Hazard coming forward again. Hazard was caught by Ampadu, and Ampadu receives a yellow card for the shirt pull.
There you go. It's a banker. Yellow card. Do you know what? Because he's let Hazard get the wrong side of him, he's ended up chasing him and pulling his shirt. If he keeps Hazard this side of him and closes him down properly from the right, from his back foreside, then he doesn't give a yellow card up.
Also on Saturday, 5:30, Saints against Leeds, the Super League Grand Final, live on Talksport, and then Fight Night exclusive from Manchester, the big WBO bout between Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker. Kiefer Moore is currently receiving treatment, and that will be a concern for Wales. We're watching on the monitor his far post header, which has given Wales a route back into this game, and the youngster Zeno de Bas never got off the ground.
There you go. You know, that's before the game. I played against young centre-backs when I got older, and they're inexperienced, and you can move them about, they can get them to give fouls against you, they learn in the game. At this level, at 18, that's what happens. Kiefer Moore's pulled on the back of him, he never got off the ground, as he said. He's just buried him, and it's a man against a boy.
But Kiefer Moore is making his way off as Wales look to defend this free kick. De Bruyne is over it with an hour played on Talksport. Belgium 2, Wales 1 in the UEFA Nations League. Still Poland 0, Netherlands 1 in Warsaw. The early goal from Cody Gakpo. It could all come down to that game against the Poles. Of course, they beat Wales 2-1 back in June with 2 very late goals after Johnny Williams had given Wales the lead. De Bruyne plays it short towards Hazard, laid back to Tielemans. It was a planned move and it almost came off, but the shot from Tielemans is swept high over the crossbar via a deflection off Nico Williams. It's a corner.
Well, that's rubbish, that free kick they tried there. I'm thinking De Bruyne over the wall, top corner. He's played a ball into feet, pretended to shoot, got laid off for Tielemans, who's even further out, with 5 defenders running at him.
De Bruyne with the corner, fisted away by Hennessy at the near post. Dan James now looking to chase. Tielemans shields the ball well and goes back to the halfway line of Meunier. And now Carrasco. And Vertonghen takes over on the halfway line. Now De Bruyne flips one of those balls forward looking for Hazard. Real telepathy there between those two. Hazard though is challenged by Mepham just on the edge of the penalty area. Here is Carrasco. Hazard again. Around the corner for Carrasco, the back heel to look for Hazard again, but Brennan Johnson comes in with an excellent challenge. He'll now try and take on De Bruyne. De Bruyne blocks him off, and the referee gives nothing.
It's a foul. De Bruyne again body checked him. How he's not got booked, I don't know.
Now De Bass, the teenager, comes forward down the right-hand side, crossed in towards the near post. Swept away though by Mepham. James will chase. Alderweireld comes across. It's a partial challenge, but Meunier will cushion a header back towards Alderweireld. And now Tielemans comes forward. There's a real ebb and flow to the game now. Belgium are still dominating, but Wales are seeing more of the ball moving forward as Norrington Davis clears on the edge of the penalty area. Now Williams down the left, checks back, and it's played forward by Norrington Davis, but straight to De Bast again. Witsel just inside the Wales half. Kiefer Moore is back on the field of play.
We've got it sorted now, Nigel. We've got everyone behind the ball. If you notice, there's been hardly any through balls. They still might get a few because they're brilliant players, but they're now ending up with the ball out wide, high, crossing it. Joe Roden and Norrington Davis can cope.
There will be changes from Belgium very soon. Witsel. 3 players are coming on. Lois Openda, the centre forward, along with Dries Mertens, now Galatasaray after a long successful spell with Napoli. Those are 2 of the players who are coming on. The Wales now are just beginning to go toe-to-toe with Belgium a bit higher up the field. The Netherlands now lead in Poland by 2 goals to nil. Steven Bergwijn with the second, so that part of the equation tonight looks to be taken care of, which will be some relief for Wales, and they'll nick a point here maybe. The game is, I wouldn't say in the balance, but at least now Wales managed to staunch the opportunities, and changes are being made now by Rob Page. Joe Morel is coming on to replace Matt Smith, so like for like in midfield.
Joe Morel, I think, is better than the 2 who are in there, just because he's been taught by Aaron Ramsey and Joe Allen, more so Joe Allen, where to go and when to go. And every game he's played with Joe Allen, and I think he knows what he's doing.
And Gareth Bale is on the field for Wales, replacing Kiefer Moore. Here are the changes for Belgium. Michy Batshuayi is replaced by Lois Openda. Had a good spell in the Netherlands with Vitesse, now with Lens in France.
Lightning quick.
Yeah.
And Mertens, has he got 100 caps? Must have. Another great player.
Yeah. Now 35 years of age. He comes on to replace Yannick Carrasco. And the final change sees Leandro Trossard. We know what a good season he's having for Brighton.
See, Hazard, he looked okay, but he didn't look like the Hazard we know.
He looked pretty good though, didn't he?
He was good, but he didn't look to me like he was razor sharp, which is understandable. Trossard might be an improvement on Hazard the way he's playing.
Some of the touches from Hazard in the first half were really pleasing on the eye, and Wales simply couldn't cope with him.
He's not 100% fit there. I think he's just looking at him there, his belly was hanging over his shorts.
Now Vertonghen with 25 minutes to play. Belgium lead 2-1. And if Wales could get something from this game, considering what happened in the first half, it would be some result.
Well, I just keep looking at the scoreboard all the time just to check we've got it right. 2-1. I'm not exaggerating it. We could be 10.
Well, certainly 4 or 5 in the first half wouldn't have flattered Belgium, and they come forward again now. The high ball forward looking for Mertens on the far side, but it's headed away by Nico Williams, and the final touch may have been off Meunier.
You know, I'm going to say fair play to Robert Page, but he didn't have to be a rocket scientist to just get everyone behind the ball and fill the middle of the pitch and let the ball go wide all the time. Just let it keep going wide.
Well, a corner has been given, and it will be an outswinger from De Bruyne in towards the near post and volleyed over the top by, of all people, Toby Alderweireld. Caught that with plenty of power, but it was always rising.
Shambolic defending again. I mean, Mepham's marking him. He's got a volley on the penalty spot from a corner. When does that ever happen? The last one of them I've seen was Chelsea. Centre-back Koulibaly had that volley
against Tottenham,
yeah. Similar to that.
France now lead Austria 2-0. Olivier Giroud has got the second goal, so they'll be moving off the bottom of their group this evening. Now Bale. Wales now have 65 goals in this squad, and Bale has 40 of them. Openda looking to fasten onto a high ball forward. He'll be a different sort of challenge than Batshuayi. He's all about lightning pace and playing on the shoulder of the last defender.
Yeah, it's just been a golden generation of Belgian players. Another small country, but they've just like churned them out. Unbelievable.
Now Dan James looking to come forward down the left. Low ball into the area. Cleared away at the near post by Alderweireld. Morel regathers straight back towards James again. Double coverage from Meunier and Tielemans. The ball in. Bale with the header over the top. And that was a chance for Gareth Bale. His first real involvement.
I mean, Dan James just shifts the ball on his right foot. It's an in-swinger. Bale gets across. Alderweireld. He normally scores them. So unlucky.
But a corner has been given. The final touch was off Alderweireld, and Dan James will take it. Wales now searching for the equaliser. It's played short into Johnson. James again. He slips at the crucial moment as he looked to take on Openda. Openda then turned his back thinking the ball was going out. James tried to challenge him and keep the ball in play and fouled him, and it will be a free kick for Belgium on the byline.
Yeah, Openda just knocked off. He just thought the ball was rolling out for a goal kick. Dan James showing a bit of tenacity. Hooks his leg round him. Looks worse than it was. He's allowed to challenge for the ball. Mind, they changed the rules now. It's more or less non-contact.
Unless you're Kevin De Bruyne. 68 minutes played. Belgium 2, Wales 1 on Talksport. Elsewhere in this group, the Netherlands 2 up in Poland. France leading Austria 2-0, and Croatia are 1-0 up on Denmark. In League C tonight, Luxembourg now lead in Turkey 3-2. Azerbaijan still a goal up in Slovakia, 1-1 Lithuania Faroes. Kazakhstan were promoted earlier on today with a 2-1 win against Belarus. And down in League D, Andorra lead in Liechtenstein by a goal to nil.
Do you know what, Nigel? I've been thinking about this 5 substitutions. Don't know what you make of it, but they're talking about now like 15 men squads, and some of them not really ever playing 90 minutes. They just play 60, 70 minutes, 5 subs coming on every week, changing the tactics of the game. And for the lesser
like
nations,
baseball having finishers, won't it?
Yeah.
Where you bring the pitcher on for the last innings too.
I'm not sure about it, whether it's good or bad. I'm not sure.
I think at the moment, with the schedules and the fact that everybody wants their games played and everybody wants their piece of the pie, you've got to look after the players, haven't you?
Yeah, in that way, but I'm not thinking tactically. You've got a different way of looking at the game. You've got players there you can leave on the bench who are better than the ones you got out on the pitch. So just change your tactics at the end of games.
20 minutes to play. Here is De Bruyne now. Wide towards this near side. And the crossing from Trossard is too close to Hennessy, who claims under no pressure.
That big wave that we had coming at us has slowly gone away, and we're now in the game again. Unbelievable how they've not finished us off.
Well, there's a Mexican wave now going around the stadium. which is a clear sign that the Belgian supporters are bored. The Wales fans are possibly more engaged than they were during the first half as Norrington Davis plays it down the line. He was looking for Dan James, who left it, and it's claimed by the Bast.
I don't know whether yellow cards count.
They do
in the future, so I'd get Ampadu off.
Not beyond this tournament, no. I mean, we know already that Mepham won't play on Sunday because he's suspended now.
Well, so a red card for Ampadu. It's not, doesn't rule him out of just the last game.
Cup, no. Tongan now, who was wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Hazard. Trossard comes in field, but he's challenged by James. It spins high up towards the edge of the penalty area. Mepham clears, but Trossard brings it down. Lovely shimmy away from Ampadu towards the edge of the box to find Tielemans to his right. Tielemans is challenged by Morel. Morel then gets a boot in as De Bruyne look to try and play it forward. Bale is back there defending. Bale with a good ball forward to try and release Brennan Johnson over the halfway line. He's got Dan James in space to his right. James into the penalty area. Checks back onto his left foot. Looking for support now. The back heel will find Connor Roberts. The momentum has rather gone from the move, but Roberts finds James again. High cross to the far post, headed behind by Meunier, and it's a Wales corner.
And strangely enough, that's where Kiefer Moore scored from. And he's off. But Dan James has broke counter-attack. They couldn't get through the middle of us. We've nicked the ball off him. Broke up the length of the pitch. Brennan Johnson puts Dan James in. He's got a chance to shoot on his right foot and checks back on his left. Fizzles out.
Nico Williams with the corner. An in-swinger. High to the far post. Nodded away though by Vertonghen. And here is Openda on the move, and that could spell danger. But Wales quickly have players back as he looks to play it further forward to Meunier. And now Roberts finding Johnson, and Wales had a player in space, Nico Williams to the left, but Johnson tried to find Bale, who was on his heels down the centre. And it's back with Courtois with 17 minutes to play. Belgium 2, Wales 1 on Talksport. And from a Welsh point of view, this second half has been like night and day compared to the first.
It's easy saying Kiefer Moore would have scored now because he's not on the pitch, but that is in the exact spot, the dink to the back post where he scored from, and he would have been in that area. Whether he would have scored and got his head on it, I think he would have. But the game's definitely changed. Obviously we've got Gareth Bale on the pitch now, so if we get a free kick anywhere around the box, we've got a chance.
Now Vertonghen, nearly 74 minutes played. We'll be hearing from Gareth Southgate and Harry Kane ahead of England against Italy, live on Talksport tomorrow. Coming up following this game with you before the sports bar is open for business at 10 o'clock. 03717 223344 is the number. And don't forget, England against Germany live from Wembley is on Monday. I'm sure that both Robert Page and Gareth Southgate will be checking on their World Cup opponents over the next few days. Iran have a match against Uruguay tomorrow, and there's a lunchtime kick-off hour time for the USA in Japan. Brennan Johnson coming forward again now. Powerful run down the right, but he just runs out of room as he's challenged by Witsel. But in a tight game in the World Cup, that sort of pace and power could be a real asset.
Well, we've got legs, and as well, you know, I've been there, Qatar, 40 degrees, humid, unbelievable. In football, it won't be that hot probably, but we have got players in that heat when it starts taking its toll on the opposition. We've got athletes, right? Bale, Connor Roberts, Nico Williams, Ramsey, James. You know, we've got legs right through the side. So, I mean, you've got to say to the boys, the Welsh boys in this game, we should have been dead and buried. They've not gave up, they've dug in. Pagey's done well, changed it at half time. I wouldn't be surprised if we got an equaliser.
Hans van Aken of Club Brugge has come on for Belgium. So he looked to change things up. Yuri Tielemans, the player who goes off, so straight swap in midfield. Van Aken Has had an excellent season so far for Club Brugge in both the Belgium League and the Champions League as well, where they made a great start. Now Witsel, high to the far post, headed away by Nico Williams. De Bruyne with a cross in, which is overhit. The ball actually stays in play on this near side. And Trossard tried to hold off Connor Roberts, and Connor Roberts stood firm and comes away with the ball. Long downfield, looking for James, cut out there by Alderweireld. And here is Witsel. And now De Bruyne. Square to De Bast. And the teenager looks like he'll complete 90 minutes on his debut. Now Witsel. Alderweireld once again.
They're stuck. They're getting stuck now. They can't get through the middle of us.
Trossard finding a Pender, who is onside inside the area, but he has to check out again. Plays it square towards the far side, and De Bast. Here is De Bruyne inside the area, challenged by Morel. He's given a penalty.
Got the ball.
Well, Morel seemed to win the ball there. Kevin De Bruyne tumbled, and the referee has given the penalty. VAR will surely have a look at this, because it did seem that De Bruyne tumbled after Morel had won the ball.
De Bruyne has made that run that he makes in the right channel. He's got in the box, and I think you'll find Morel got the ball.
He clearly got the ball.
He got the ball.
This has got to be overturned.
It will be, surely. Somebody's got a yellow card while we're doing it.
Well, if this is allowed to stand, we do have VAR, then it is the wrong decision, because there's no doubt Morel got his boot to the ball before De Bruyne. There's no hint of a dive from De Bruyne.
No, and De Bruyne has let the ball run down the side of him on his right foot. He's about to pull the trigger, and Morel's chased back and just got his toe on the ball, and you can see the ball where we've got the benefit of a screen. The ball, the patterns on the ball have changed, and you can see Morel's got his toe on the ball. If he gives a penalty, he won't give a penalty. He's Turkish, and I know him.
Well, Mete Kalbahan is the VAR, and the referee Ali Kalabic is going across to look at the screen. So he's been encouraged to have a look himself, and he's gone across to the far side.
Well, if he don't see that the way we've seen it, then
yeah, I mean, he gets the ball clearly.
Yeah,
he lunges in with the right foot, and he gets to the ball before De Bruyne goes down. De Bruyne wasn't looking for it. It's a good challenge by Morel. He's having a long look at this, the referee.
Why? I mean,
well, he's coming back now towards the centre, and he's called off the penalty, and that is the right decision, and that is where VAR works.
Yeah. And whoever's sitting in the chair up in that room that's told him to come and have a look, he knows what he's looking at. That's my argument with VAR.
Well, Gareth Bale has been booked for dissent, and that will stand.
Well, yeah, but to be fair to Gareth Bale, you know there's VAR there, so what's the point in arguing?
Yeah, there is that, yeah. Well, the home crowd aren't happy. As Croatia go 2-1 up against Denmark, and well, the referee has hold of the ball at the moment. Well, it should be a corner, because Morel got the final touch, and the referee has given a goal kick.
Yeah, it's one or the other. It's either a penalty or a corner. So how can he give a goal kick?
Roberto Martinez looks mystified, and
please tell me he doesn't think De Bruyne has dived.
Because he didn't. Here is De Bruyne now, and that's got the home crowd fired up. The Belgium are coming forward now with Van Aken on the far side. The high cross into the penalty area, nodded away at the near post by Mepham. Now Witsel. And Trossard on the right corner of the penalty area with 9 minutes to play. Belgium leading Wales by 2-1 here on Talksport. 03717 223344, the number to call the sports bar at 10 o'clock. And we will be discussing England's match away to Italy live on Talksport tomorrow night at the end of this game, and hearing from both Gareth Southgate and Harry Kane.
If I'm Roberto Martinez now, I'm a bit worried about this game because Wales is front three Olympic sprinters: Dan James, Gareth Bale, Brennan Johnson, and we're playing a low block and we're sitting back, and it's a matter of time before we break on them.
Now Nico Williams does well to read a ball forward from De Bruyne. It's now back with Hennessy. Do you think the referee forgot to give him a corner though, or
well, either that or he thinks De Bruyne has dived, but if you think he's dived you should book him, so he never booked him. So maybe it's just, I don't know what he's thinking. He's just made a mistake. It's a corner or a penalty.
And in the end it was neither. Now Witsel wide to Vertonghen on this near side. Trossard with a ball down the line, but there have been more and more hopeful balls from Belgium the longer this game has gone on. That was lifted into the channel by Trossard, but it was a fight ball and no more than that.
Yeah, well, we've stopped, obviously because we've dropped off. The gap between our back five and the midfielders got smaller. The gap between the strikers and our midfielders got smaller, so we're all back behind the ball. There's no space for De Bruyne and Tielemans to get in the gaps, or whoever they've got in there, Witsel, they can't get in the gaps now. They were getting in there.
Now Mertens with the peroxide rinse goes infield to Alderweireld. Mertens again, lofted high over the top, headed away well though by Mepham. Ampadu nods it back to Norrington Davis, and it's wide to the far side, and Williams, who tries a little flick down the line, gets away with it and then comes away with the ball. The referee playing advantage because he was fouled. Bale now plays it wide to the far side, and it's Norrington Davis who was charging forward. De Bast with the clearance, but it's straight to Morel, and now Williams again. Joe Morel's made a difference since coming on as well.
Stands in the centre of the pitch, knows what he's doing.
Now Bale has support from Roberts down the right, checks back in field. He's looking for that switch of play to the left to release either Williams or James, but here is Roberts again down the right, and we have 6.5 minutes to play. Belgium really needed a big win here to try and give themselves a chance of reaching the final four, because they lost 4-1 here against the Netherlands in the opening game, as Rhys Norrington Davis goes off and Tyler Roberts comes on to replace him, so a change of shape again.
Well, it looks like he's gone to a back four, and he's going to maybe put Tyler Roberts up the top. He's took Norrington Davis out of the back five. He was playing left side, so it looks like Page has gone, let's try and get a result. But would this goal difference do us?
Well, they still have to win
against Poland.
Yeah, they've got to win whatever happens.
So we don't need to lose another goal, so it's another dilemma he's got.
Roberts now plays it back, and the shot from Brennan Johnson is dragged wide. It was a real opportunity. A clear sight of goal around 9 yards out, and he hit it first time across the face of goal and wide.
Well, one full back to the other. Nico Williams comes back on his right foot, out on the left, crosses it deep to the back post. Connor Roberts has got in the box, heads it back across the goal. Our volley, Brennan Johnson can't miss, dragged it wide.
It's been a very similar game in many ways to what we saw in Rotterdam back in June, when Wales went 2 goals down early on, were getting absolutely hammered by the Netherlands, but in the end they equalised in the final moments and should have drawn the game before losing.
Yeah, I think sometimes, Nigel, we get forced back like we have today. We've been forced into sitting behind the ball because we're getting peppered from all angles, and it suits us better than when we have to actually have 3 up there going at.
Now Bale pokes it down the centre. He was looking for James, but in the end James has stayed where he was, and it's back towards Courtois, and we have 4.5 minutes to play. Belgium 2, Wales 1 on Talksport. Italy against England, live from San Siro tomorrow night. Belgium here looking to finish things off with Mertens. Down the left-hand side, Openda waits on the edge of the penalty area. Trossard is the overlap, but Mertens goes in field to Van Aken. Now Trossard back towards Mertens again, and the challenge came in. This could be a penalty on VAR. It was Mepham who slid in, and he seems to have injured himself, but he also seemed to block the ball with his hand.
Well, was it his hand, or was it... Oh no, it wasn't his hand, it was somewhere else that hurts
Lower abdomen.
even more.
Yeah. No wonder he's writhing in agony.
Yeah. I've been there, done that. Yes. Especially when it's cold.
Everybody loves. Turkey 3, Luxembourg 3 in League C tonight. That's the game of the night in terms of goals. Luxembourg have been ahead 3 times in that game. Now, Openda goes down inside the area, tangling with Mepham, and the referee waves away the appeals. Williams with a high ball over the top. Tyler Roberts will chase in behind Alderweireld, and he's got there first, down the left-hand side. Support from Dan James, but Belgium have numbers back, and they win the ball back, and now Van Aken receives on the edge of their penalty area. Well, to look back on 1 or 2 chances in this game. The bigger picture, of course, is the World Cup. But if it stays like this, they'll know they played one of the major nations and ultimately been close to getting a result. But here is Mertens who curls it, and the ball just swung away from the far post at the last moment and wide.
Well, Mertens has got the ball on the left corner of the box, comes inside on his right foot, and as we see most weeks in the Premier League, these players now come inside on the good foot and they can hit the stanchion. Thierry Henry perfected it, and he's tried to whip it into the far corner. It's gone straight on. We're still in this game, 5 minutes to go with added time.
Connor Roberts wide to the far side, and Williams. It's Tyler Roberts to the left of the 3 now, with Bale to the right and James down the centre. Wales finishing the game strongly, having been blown away in the first half. 2 goals down, could have been 4 or 5 down, but the goal early in the second half from Kiefer Moore just changing the temperature. Here is Mepham in towards Ampadu. The ball breaks kindly for Bale. Midway inside the Belgium half, he can break towards the edge of the penalty area, looks for movement ahead of him. There's a back heel to find Williams, who swings in the shot, turned aside by Courtois. It's still loose on the edge of the penalty area, not in clear as far as James, and now Ampadu with a left foot shot, that's also blocked. It was a brave block as well by Alderweireld, but Belgium pick up a loose ball on halfway with De Bruyne infield towards Mertens. Now Trossard on the edge of the Wales penalty area. De Bruyne in space to the left, pulls it across, it's blocked at the near post by a lunging Mepham. Appeals for handball from De Bruyne, but Wales swing it wide to the far side, and Williams.
No, it's a great chance. Nico Williams, great strike. We could have equalised. So close.
Now Brennan Johnson takes a high ball down beautifully down the right-hand side. He can attack the penalty area. High cross to the far post. It's pulled away by Courtois. And the Belgian goalkeeper has extended once again in the closing moments.
Like Tyler Roberts and Gareth Bale are in the middle of the goal there. One of them's got to go in the near post and get across the near post. They both stood waiting for a cutback. Ball's gone across the face.
Here is James now. Squared towards Roberts. Wide to Brennan Johnson. Back towards Roberts again. Roberts with a high ball to the far post. Bale was challenging, but Courtois comes out and claims well.
Nico Williams is trying to bend that. What a good save from Courtois, who looks unbeatable at the moment in his club form, but he looks so assured in his goal. No chance with Kiefer Moore's header, but that was nearly the equaliser.
A minimum of 6 more minutes. Still time.
If we get a draw here, it'll be up there with Verstappen nicking the Grand Prix on the last day against Lewis Hamilton.
It'll be up there with anything Dick Turpin achieved on the basis of the first half. Now De Bruyne has got space though down the left-hand side. 3 wait for the pullback. Now Trossard into Van Aken. It'll come out to Meunier, who hits it right-footed over the top.
Well, fair play to Robert.
He's been adventurous again, isn't it? He's tried to get back into the game by still giving Wales a threat.
And it's nearly worked. You know, he's brought Tyler Roberts on. He showed a bit of pace there, Tyler Roberts. He doesn't get many goals. He's not a natural goal scorer. So when Brennan Johnson's getting down the right there and he's about to cross it, you've got to smell a chance. Where Haaland smells where the ball's going. He's always on the move. He gets out of your eye line and then gets across it. I mean, he can teach players where to run, but their instinct of when to go and where to go, you can't teach them that.
There'll be some relief for Wales. Kevin De Bruyne has gone off and the talented young Milan player, Charles de Catalara, has come on, and his header in field now finds Witsel, and Openda is in space down the right-hand side. Roden just drops off. The early cross in, volleyed away by Mepham. And we have played 90 seconds of the minimum 6, and it's still Belgium 2, Wales 1 on Talksport.
I mean, Belgium 2-1 up in the 90th minute, break down the right-hand side. Both midfield players, Merton and Witsel, are trying to get on the end of the cross. If I'm Martinez, I'm going, what are you doing? We can't get another point. We've already got 3. We don't need to score again.
As it stands, they will need a 3-goal victory against the Netherlands away from home on Sunday to reach the final 4. France have beaten Austria 2-0, so they're off the bottom of their group. First win in the competition.
Maybe it's a thinking goal difference then.
Possibly. They could have taken that out of the equation in the first half. Corner for Belgium on this near side. Azerbaijan conceded in added time in Slovakia. Have now retaken the lead in League C, in the group which Kazakhstan have already won.
What's Joe Morrell doing? When Mertens has got the ball in his hands, he's about to take a corner with his right foot in swinger. Joe Morrell stood off the pitch over the byline. Don't know what he's doing. Now he's come back on.
Well, Mertens with the corner into the near post. Headed away, and Williams will try and bring it clear now for Wales, and he's found Johnson on the breakaway. Johnson challenged by Meunier, who had to time that right and did. And the loose ball was picked up by Roberto Martinez as Wales were looking for the quick throw in, and he's smiling, but I'm not sure too many of the...
Did he get booked?
He sent him off.
Roberto, what are you doing? He's got a red card. All he's done, you know, Meunier's slid under Brennan Johnson. The ball just popped straight in the manager's hands. What do you want him to do? Throw him the ball back quick so you can take a quick throw. I've been there, stood in the technical area, and the ball comes back to you all of a sudden.
You do that, is there?
I'm not giving him the ball back, no.
Free kick for Wales on the halfway line. 4 minutes of added time played. Belgium lead 2-1, and Roberto Martinez has just been sent off.
That's harsh.
Another former Swansea player, Connor Roberts, will take the free kick. Could be Wales' last chance. Roberts, high up towards the edge of the penalty area, headed on by Rodon, but he couldn't pick out Bale, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Unlucky, it's a deep free kick. Rodon's got his head on it, but he's like, instead of ending it across the face, look who they replaced. That is an improvement. Roberto Martinez has been sent off, so up steps Thierry Henry. He's in the technical area. He definitely wouldn't give you the ball back.
No.
And behind him is Anthony Barry, who signed for me at Wrexham. He's done well to get where he's got to.
The Catalana flips on for Belgium. Nico Williams does well to Robert Pender. Back into the area for Hennessy, who gives it the big left boot forward. We're into the final minutes of added time at the end of this game. It's been a very entertaining second half on Talksport. Now Morrell has a shirt pulled by De Catalana, and Wales will send everybody forward once again.
Last chance. Free kick just in their half. All the big lads are going up. Quickly taken.
Played short to Nico Williams down the left-hand side. High ball lofted into the penalty area, a waste into the arms of Courtois, and that should be that.
Anything. Nico Courtois is 6'6". Anything but that. He's floated it Too high, straight into his hands.
15 seconds of added time to play. It's all going to come down to the game against Poland on Sunday for Wales to try and survive in this group. They're still 2 goals down in added time at home to the Netherlands as Bale tries to release Johnson down the right, but it's overhit, it's out of play.
Time's up. It's what the referee thinks.
But Belgium
Now,
have been hanging on here, and that's
amazing.
credit to the way Wales have played in the second half.
It's amazing, isn't it? How they're hanging on in this game.
Well, they should have been out of sight.
Yeah.
Now Openda looks to break down the left, but he's challenged by Mepham, who won't be playing in the match on Sunday. And that's it. So Wales will have to beat Poland to remain in League A in the UEFA Nations League on Sunday, but they will take a good deal from their second half performance. They could have been absolutely hammered by an irresistible Belgium in the opening 45 minutes. 2 goals down, it should have been so many more, but Kiefer Moore's header gave Wales hope, and they created a better opportunities the longer the game went on. And in the build-up to the World Cup, Robert Page will have taken a good deal from the second half performance. It is finished, Belgium 2, Wales 1.